All right. All right. So yeah, here we are, another episode of the Wrestling Mats. I'm Matt. That's Matt. Hence how we came up with the name, the Wrestling Mats. Actually, we didn't come up with that. That's a
Yeah,
different thing.
yeah, yeah. Our friend did
Yeah,
like
he's not a
six
Matt.
months too
There's
late.
so many Mats. He's not a Matt, but he came up with that.
His brother's a Matt.
Yes, there's so many of us. Anywho, we're here to talk about um, primarily the episode of Raw that just happened, and maybe some stuff back on SmackDown, and maybe some live event stuff we went to on Friday.
Oh, I still haven't gotten to watch
I was
SmackDown
gonna
because of
cut
the
to you
live
the
thing we
minute you
did.
were yawning, and I stopped because I saw you were yawning.
Yeah,
I know parts of what happened on SmackDown, but I didn't get back to it. We missed SmackDown because we went to our local company's version of WrestleMania this past Friday, and had some amazing seats for it. I should probably post some stuff picture wise from the event on the YouTube channel at least, because that's where most of our content goes. Um, but yeah, we were on the stage for it. It was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool event. Uh, but because we went to that, we missed all of SmackDown because it was
yeah.
Friday night as well. So
Right night, and it was my birthday, so then birthday weekend, so I didn't have time this weekend to get to it yet.
yeah, the rest of my weekend kind of. Saturday night, I watched the Max and Dustin farewell fight as Dustin Poirier retired after his fight for the BMF belt. And then Sunday, I kept an eye on, but I didn't actually watch Slammiversary. So that's kind of what I've done this weekend. But I don't know. Do you want to talk about the live event, or do you want to talk about Raw first and throw the live stuff in at the end? How do you want to handle this, Matt?
I guess maybe the raw stuff that's fresh in our head, and then we can talk about live event because I don't think we're really gonna forget the live event. We were friggin' there.
That's true. That's fair. Kicked off the show with CM Punk and Gunther.
Was that in fact the very first thing? It wasn't a match before that.
No, Punk came out first.
Okay, I guess you're right. I don't know why that's flip flopping in my mind, but yeah, I guess that's right. Yeah, and they essentially just didn't have CM Punk talk, really just stand there and take it.
Yeah, once Gunther came out, they just let him talk because I feel like anything Punk was gonna say was gonna overshadow what Gunther says, just because. So I suspect next week we're gonna get a little more out of CM Punk than we got this week, which makes sense. You want Gunther to look somewhat strong and everything. Talks about results, the belts, this and that. Although Punk had a 400 and some odd day reign or something like that back when he was there, so Punk had plenty of stuff he could have retorted with. He just didn't speak, which again I think was best for Gunther's character.
I mean, with your point that you just made there, he can really come back next week with that time. Like, I had a reign of, 400 some odd days. Have you? No.
Yeah,
So it's, yeah, can really come back with, like, oh, yeah, I looked up a lot of these facts and compared them to yours, and you don't add up to me.
yeah. He could do a lot of Steiner math if he wanted to. I don't think he's going to, but he could do a lot of Steiner math. How many days of his career that he actually was active wrestling that he held titles for is probably all up there. Maybe not at like 80% or whatever Gunther is, but a good chunk of Gunther's 80% of his time there as champion was with the IC belt. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's fine. He'll say some stuff that makes people laugh, and Gunther will get frustrated.
Yeah, Gunther only had um this title at all only within the last year.
Almost
And not
exactly a year because he should have won it, I believe, at SummerSlam.
yeah. So and he didn't keep it a whole year. So yeah,
No, he had that thing with Damien.
CM Punk could really bury the hell out of him if he
Hmm.
wanted to. So yeah, it makes sense why they didn't have him talk. Just kind of stare him down like
Yep.
he's gonna eat him for fucking dinner. And
Yeah.
it would make sense to have more jarring back and forth, the oohs and ahs for that if they do that face to face for next week. Because what is it? The August 2nd and the 3rd is SummerSlam.
Yeah. So
It's
not
pretty
this
much
weekend, next
already here.
weekend.
Yep. It's basically 2 days after my anniversary, so pretty hard to forget.
Mm-hmm. That would be yeah.
That's fun. I better well, better make the wife happy before that, or she's gonna be like, it's our anniversary weekend. You watch your SummerSlam the whole time, so gonna have to.
See, this is why you meet your wives and girlfriends at wrestling shows. So the anniversary gift becomes going to SummerSlam.
Yeah, well, god damn it, neither one of us has pulled that off now, have we?
No, no.
I was trying, and then I was out there just like every time I go out there, it's either they're like the girls are there, they're coming with their boyfriend, or there's just some other issue where it's just like the I'm trying, but it's like the other end's dead. Like there's no dial tone. You pick up the phone. Oh, mine's dead. Okay, not in there. Can't make any progress.
Well, see, I think my hindrance is like go to wrestling shows with three women. It automatically puts me in a situation where I think everyone assumes I'm at least dating somebody in the group.
Yeah, I guess you almost got to peel off of them if you want to find someone else. Because if you know one of them in the group isn't biting, then it's just like they're kind of just blocking you.
That's unintentional, and
Unfortunately.
I dip away.
Well,
I treat it like
yes.
high school. I treat it like high school
I'm
now.
I'm not coming out here and going like it's exactly their fault.
No,
Like
but
no.
I've never had a problem with that. I will go and I will dip away like it's high school and go talk to people. But yeah, I think the initial response is always like, well, he's here with three women, so let's assume he's taken in some way, shape, or form. But then I go and talk to people.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that's what you gotta do. That's why you can go to SummerSlam.
Yeah.
That's the key. But
I mean, now that we do this little podcast stream like after all the wrestling shows, I get the wife watching them all again because the only reason we started doing that or not doing that anymore is we started streaming during them, and then that wasn't really working. So I ought to get her watching these again with me because then she gets into it as much as she wants to be like, I don't know about wrestling or
as long as
going like, oh, it's fake. She starts getting in the storyline.
as
She
long
get
as nobody's banging guardrails on the floor, we'll be okay. I think
oh god, yeah, that.
so.
Um, yeah, so story does get her because my wife is an author for anyone
That is why at
listening.
the
So
the live show I tried to like yell across the table occasionally the backstory as much as possible for some of the people because I
that
figured
helped a
that
lot.
would be the part that gets her attention the most out of all of it.
And invested, yeah.
Yeah,
Kind of like understanding like, oh, we're supposed to give a shit about here.
right. We'll get to that though, I suppose.
Yeah.
Next up was Sheamus and Rusev, I believe.
Yeah, surprised that like that kicked off the show for the first match. All of a sudden saw the Russo eyes. I'm like, really? Okay, we're starting on with Rusev. Okay.
It's a good match. I think it makes sense to start with it if you want to
And
give the
meaty men
tone.
slapping meat.
Yeah, if you want to give the tone of a more serious show, that's a good duo to have do it because the match is gonna be stiff compared to like a JD and somebody else's match where it's more high flying. Or I think that first match can really set the tone for the rest of the show, whether it's comedic, fast paced, stiff. You know, you
Yeah.
can do a lot by setting the pace based off that match. And
Yeah.
I mean, it fit. I think it actually fit for the style of show it was.
I kind of liked how they do that with WCW a lot of the times, where they'd start off with one of the luchador matches, just any of the cruiserweight division. And it was just like, whoa! Is it just you have a crazy match like out of the gate, and then you're just like really kind of interested. maybe it got kind of wear down a little bit, but they're working on the story for the end of the night, which was usually the NWO or Sting or something. So in a way, that was really kind of good because it would kind of pique my interest a lot. I know that's going a ways back in time, but I get your point with this. It helped to have kind of a little bit of a brutal match because after that there wasn't too much going on in the show, not till the end. I'd really say.
Right. You didn't have anything. You had the tag match that was fast paced. Besides that, though, there was no Penta. There was no JD really running around. There wasn't. The pacing for the show was going to be something more of a dramatic pacing, especially with Roman coming back and the big three guys at the end battling the way they did. It just felt like it made sense for the show. I agree with you
Yeah,
with the fast paced kicking things off. You see that a lot with indie shows too. They start
yeah,
off with the 6-man scramble or the this or the that just to get the crowd in their seats essentially. But
yeah,
a WWE event, they're already in their seats. You know what I mean? They're already there. Then I mean they started with Punk. So Cult of Personality hits and people are there. They're gonna sit down and
yeah.
go
You've pretty
watch.
much run to your seats at that point
Right. But a
for
lot of
that Omari.
companies, especially indie companies, will start with a scramble for the same exact reason you said. And that usually is a good way to do it, but WWE doesn't have to do that. So
Yeah, true. But uh, one slight improvement I saw from their kind of like rematch with this, Sheamus wasn't quite as much of a horrible sweaty mess by the end of it. I mean, it was a sweaty mess, but before he just looked like
he was winded.
winded and just needed a IV stuck in his arm. He sweated so much. His hair completely like changed like texture by the end of the first match. Tonight, I mean, it was getting there, but it wasn't as bad. It just, I, I mean, he didn't used to be like that. It's just him getting older and harder to stay in shape, which he looks fine for the big ox of a man. The both of them are,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's just man, he's just pouring sweat. Start seeing that, and I'm just like I don't want you in your career, but I'm kind of almost like, should you still be doing this? Like, is that a good sign? Is that a bad sign?
Well, I mean, it's not a bad sign if he's staying active. It's good for him physically, at least. What we
Yeah,
have to keep an eye on is also just keep an eye and see if he stays that sweaty every match, if that's something that you're hedging. Because it could be the venue. The venue may have been way warmer 2 shows ago than this one, for example. We don't really know what each venue keeps their stuff at, temperature wise. So we can assume it's cooler, but who knows? I've never been to 2/3 of these venues, anyways, so I couldn't tell you. T-Mobile was nice and cool. That's in Vegas.
well,
Um,
that's good.
we know how we keep our own here, but I don't know what Atlanta or Texas or whatever them. I don't know how you know where they're at in terms of what their facilities keep their temperatures at.
Or what it's even capable of keeping it at.
Right, like if you're in
People are or no people.
Phoenix, for example, you got a building full of people in Phoenix, and it's 114 degrees outside. I assume the air can kick, but maybe the air can't kick it down to low 70s, upper 60s. Whereas in
Yeah,
Cleveland, it could easily be 65 degrees in our nearest, Rocket Mortgage Field House or whatever they're calling it now. You know, I don't
yeah.
know.
I mean, yeah, having an arena that never sees the outside sun, um, that helps significantly to keep it down.
Right. So, anyway, it's just something to keep an eye on. But uh, I have no idea what the hell is after that.
Um.
Because I'm not overly impressed. I like Sheamus. I'm not a big Rusev fan.
Oh,
I think it's a good matchup, but
it was the three-way tag match to qualify
oh,
for the number one contendership for SummerSlam.
right.
Um,
That was a good match.
so New Day. Oh damn it, Los. I'm forgetting the name of it. I know it's
Don't call them Los Matadors.
no. I wasn't gonna say that. Um. Oh, I know it's the LWO. Damn it. Oh.
Los Matador. Actually,
Yeah,
it's.
no, I wasn't thinking no Matador. Matador. Don't you don't you put those words in my mouth?
I thought you said
um,
Los, and I'm like, that's the only Los I know
yeah.
of is the Los Matadors, and that was their little
Uh,
buddy
I'm
who
trying to
wrestled
remember.
Swoggle in the
I can't
WLC.
remember. Help me out. I can't remember that
They just
damn.
call him LWO.
Okay, LWO is fine.
Yeah, it was a good match.
I want to remember the fucking group's tag name. Whatever. Um. All right. Yeah. So them. Like what's the third team? Why can't I think? Um.
You want me to like throw you a life
Yeah. Help me.
preserver? It's American made, man. It was the
American.
Creed
Oh
brothers.
yeah. That I sort of remember them first because of um
Ivy?
now El Americano.
Grande.
Yeah.
Americano.
Yeah, him showing up.
Kaiser. Yeah, Kaiser showed up, yes.
Kaiser basically in the back, which I guess maybe I shouldn't be so surprised, but I wasn't expecting him to know so much Spanish. But
He seems educated, but I also wouldn't have guessed that.
well, if
I missed that
he
segment, by the way, so.
does he actually come from Germany or is it Austria? I can't remember it. Anyways,
Listen, I had public city American schooling. My geography
either
sucks.
either way, I don't remember exactly where. He does. I figure he does speak German as his first language, but being over there, um, probably the two other primary languages in Europe to learn would probably be English and Spanish because you do have Spain right there, perhaps French as well. But if he's going into wrestling, English and Spanish are your next two that you kind of want to learn because where you're going to end up. Oh, that and maybe Japanese if you got to go over to New Japan. But
Japanese is a big one. We have a lot of
yeah,
people here that try to learn Japanese or learning Japanese for that reason.
yeah, I definitely believe it. That way you can at least go over there and get by. Like our favorite referee, like
Yep.
she was over there wrestling until she got her audition as a WWE referee, and then history from there. But yeah, I was surprised he knew so much Spanish. It didn't sound like they just taught him some lines, but like he didn't understand the words. Like you
Right.
just
He
trying to
made the
mimic,
sounds.
mimic the sounds and be like, I don't know what I'm saying, but you told me I'm saying this, so I'll say it.
Right.
Um, so that was pretty good. Um, actually gave it a little bit more authenticity to me, and then he comes in and interrupts the match. So
He tried to
it's
help.
it's interesting to see where that might go. Um, I still want them to have like a bunch of Americanos just not being able to figure out who's who on what day. Like first going like a Chad, that was Kaiser.
It'd be good. I think in the end, though, they're just going to have uh,
I still want
Chad
our
versus
truth
Kaiser
as
at some point. But yeah,
I want our truth one so bad.
that'd be good. That would be
Fuck
excellent.
with everybody.
That'd be fantastic. I'm not going to lie. I don't think they're going to do it, but that'd be fantastic.
It would be so good. They would. Uh, yeah. So, I mean, they got things kind of set up with that already, where they can start doing things like tag team matches, where it can be like, you know, okay, we make Americano and Kaiser tag team together you have Kaiser, and then you have Chad slip
Right.
back into there, and you're just like, okay, we're doing it. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot they can do with that. So I'm hoping they're gonna do more rather than what they're just doing. It seems like the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot further they can go. But so, anyways, with all that, New Day, feeling like they got screwed over. LWO's got a shot at the titles. I don't know how that's gonna go. I kind of figure they're gonna show up. They're gonna have a hell of a match, but I don't really see them winning right now.
No one's taking the belts off of anybody in the Judgment Day right now, but
Yeah,
which is sad. But I am glad to see that LWO won the title shot because I'm a big fan of Walking Wild. I think is what he goes by now. DJZ, Zima
uh,
Ion, any one of those names.
yeah,
Because the guy who got the pin, the guy who actually did the roll up to get the win,
yeah.
was on the indie scene for a long time and one of the coolest dudes ever. Saw him wrestle live several times. Met him, got
I,
autographs.
I saw him wrestle at least once, if not 2 or 3 times.
Yep,
I definitely saw him because he had that like it was like a light up like the garb he'd put over himself, like it
yep,
would just light up. Like I remember that. Was
yep. He had,
was it like a helmet that light up too?
yep. It was all like shoulder pad
Yeah,
helmet combo with
yeah,
LED
that's what it
lights.
was. I didn't think of the fucking word for shoulder pads.
Yep, that. Um, that was one thing he had going for a while. Then he also had the DJ scenario going, and he was teaming. You probably saw him if it was tag teams. You probably saw him with Robbie E, who is Chuck Stone. Is that his name? Down on NXT.
Oh,
You know the guy that's been the manager for everybody. He used to manage. He got ran over by Shotzi in the tank. Has the hair that pulled back. Wears a suit all the time. Don't know what he goes by now in
oh,
NXT, but
yeah. I think I know who you're
he
talking
would
about.
team constantly with DJZ and on the indie scene. It was Robbie E and DJZ. But so I'm glad to see they're both doing very well and still involved in the WWE in some way, shape, or form. But I'm glad.
Yeah,
Long story short, I'm just glad to see DJZ get a title match. He's put a lot of work in. He's in phenomenal shape, um, and he's just done phenomenal work in the ring. That think the thing that put him on the map or put them on the map was that springboard catapult thing they were doing for a while, where two members of LWO would grab each side of the middle rope and DJZ would jump up on the middle rope, and then as it springboard, they would lift up on the rope at the same time to launch him even further.
oh yeah, that they haven't done that in a while. You're right.
But that was the first thing that kind of put them on the map because they launched him halfway down an entrance ramp one time.
Yeah. I don't remember if I watched that live or you sent me a video of that. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, they sent him a long way.
Oh, hope to God they fucking catch him. He's gonna die if they don't.
You got to clear some people. It might be gone. He just overshot us. So yeah, that was super stoked about that. That's about it. I don't think anybody's taking titles off the Judgment Day in any way, shape, or form. So best we can hope for is they go out, put on a great match, and keep people's interest high. Essentially, I enjoyed the scene afterwards when Judgment Day was losing their mind. The Matrix is off. IT tech support. Kofi's yelling up into the sky and stuff like that, and eventually nothing makes sense. We lose the belts. We lose the shots at the belts. American Made's doing this. The only thing that makes any sense is that AJ's a janitor, and he should have been from the start anyways, because AJ was still doing the mopping of the floor after the whole first interaction with Dominic in the back. Did you see any of that?
I think that was part of that was like the one part I had to step away from, and I'm kind of depressed that I did.
Dominic
because it sounded funny. I just couldn't get to see it.
Yeah, so Dominic is back there. It starts off with like the segment before that. Dominic is back there, and Pierce is like, hey, you're gonna need to go to medical and get cleared. Um, Asking him nicely at the time still, and then he gets bumped from behind by a mop, and it's AJ mopping in like a janitor outfit, and that ends, and that match happens. When they come back by after that, the New Day match ends. New Day comes into the back again. AJ's like mopping, and he goes, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa!" to New Day. They're like, what? Because they're clearly just pissed they lost and stuff. He's like, the floor is wet. I don't want you to slip. As he just keeps mopping past them. It was pretty ridiculous, but I love it. AJ has been like the comic relief the past couple weeks. It's fantastic.
I got a really loud notification during all of that, and I don't know if it was like on the YouTube side. I'm not seeing a comment or something. So if there's someone on my side that's commenting, I'm sorry I can't see it and reply if that happened. It wasn't like I got a follow because my last follow was 3 months ago.
Same.
So
I got no
uh
notification over here of any sort, so.
yeah, I don't know. So
Hmm. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I pulled up my thing on the YouTube side to see if there's something there, but I think a Netflix official thing there, but I don't know if that's just like an ad. I don't know. Anyways, if I missed your comment, I'm sorry. Come find me on the Twitch side, and we can we can chat with you and all that. Oh well. Anyways,
Yeah. Um.
so
Then
let's see here.
were they?
After all that in the back, or
Yep.
was there something else you wanted to
Nope.
get
We're
to in
good.
that? What was after that segment? Because I think I came back to that, and you'd finally gotten in Discord. What match was going on then?
I don't know why she dresses like Hogan, but she dresses like Hogan.
Who does?
Becky seems to be all about the red and yellow recently.
Oh, oh, was it the women's tag?
Well,
Or
Becky came out and Lyra did the manhandle slam to her, and then the tag match started.
oh, okay. Oh, and I I guess we were all supposed to be perplexed by like why the hell Bailey's like, oh, that's why we're on the bridge. I'm friends with you now, Lyra. Like, it just before their tag match started, she came and found Beck. She found Bailey in the back and went like, "What the fuck? You went to them and said like we're gonna tag team together tonight?" And you're like, "Well, yeah, why not? We already got matching outfits. So let's go do it."
I miss that.
Yeah, yeah. Lyra came back very confused. Like, what? Do you think we're fucking friends again? What is this? And Bailey's just like, we know we never stopped being friends, essentially.
Well, I'm
It's just,
confused because that match was made on Twitter.
yeah, well,
Pierce made the announcement that was going to happen, and Bailey was stoked because she finally got the WrestleMania match she was supposed to have.
so how they tied it into with the show, Lyra came to her going like, did you go to him and make this match where I'm your tag team partner? And she's like, yeah, it's gonna be great.
Okay, interesting.
And
That
she's just perplexed, and Bailey goes off to the ring, and she's just like, "Uh, you were just like stealing my opportunity. I was stealing yours, and we're fighting, and what? We're friends again." So
I
very
mean,
confusing.
she handled it fine in the ring because during the tag match, Bailey was a fantastic teammate to Lyra.
Yeah.
So
Well, well, even us fans that saw it were kind of like, yeah, she's got a point. I thought you guys were mad at each other, and then that was it.
well, they were going for a belt.
Yeah, but Ly- Lyra kind of wasn't. She's kind of like, what is this? I'm tagging with you? You gonna
Well, no,
backstab me
Lyra was
again?
going. I mean, the whole beef started because first Bailey wanted to get her hands on Becky for taking her out, and then wanted to get a belt out of the opportunity because she lost her tag team match opportunity for the belts. So here she is having a tag team opportunity, which is the one thing she lost in the first place. And she, unfortunately lost the triple threat match. So she's out of that running. So why would she still be?
Yeah, I don't know. It just the two of them weren't on the same page.
I beg to differ in the match. It looked fantastic. Bailey had to
Uh,
orchestrate stuff, but it worked.
I'm sure, but up to that, Lyra was just like, I'm still mad at you. I
Well,
think.
that's a her problem. That's a personality trait she's got to fix.
I I guess so.
Bailey's been in the business for a long time. She's got friends in other companies, and she's been, you know,
Uh-huh.
yeah, she's ain't got time for this. That belt situation's done. Now we have to go tag. And now there's another chance for a belt. We got to roll. We got to win some belts here. Come on, let's go.
Jeez.
So, good match. I don't know if they're going to try to use Becky bouncing Lyra off the steps as another way to drive a wedge between them. I don't. Maybe that's what Becky says now. She's frustrated and says, "You weren't there for me," blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, really don't know outside of getting those two to work together what's the point, and also getting Judgment Day on TV. But I kind of figured, just like I said earlier, there's no point where the Judgment Day is going to lose the title anytime soon, and I don't see the women doing it either. So
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter who they line up in front of them. It's Judgment Day's world right now. So
It kind of seemed like just throw all those folks in a match and keep them relevant. Like,
yeah, I
hey, we're
keep
having a match here.
Judgment Day going, but I think mostly it was also to build the dynamic between Becky and Lyra and Bailey. But
Yeah, of course.
they got one more week. If they're going to bring Bailey back into the match somehow, they only got one more week to do it, and I don't think they're going to. So, which sucks because currently speaking, Becky got written out of a WrestleMania match, and as I remember, as I think about it now, at least, I don't think she has a SummerSlam match. So,
Not yet, but she might here in a sec. It might be like kind of like pre-written, but they're like
right, but they don't have nothing
storylining
announced
it
for it
in.
yet here. So,
Yeah.
but she was at um, All In. She took the photos of Mercedes and stuff like beforehand. She was backstage for that.
Oh, okay. Well,
So, um, we had a random match thrown together: Stephanie Vakir versus Io.
yeah, another one that get interrupted that they couldn't finish.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna make that a drawn out thing that Io and Vakir can't finish a match. Right now, it's Io. Io can't finish a match without some type of interference.
Yeah, it's just plaguing her completely.
Yeah, but
Oh, lost her belt even for interference.
yep. Don't
So
really know why exactly. I guess Naomi figures Io is gonna win. I don't know why Naomi jumped Io. It's awfully weird to me just to make a presumption that she's gonna win and move forward. I guess, and also that no one's realized that you can't touch Io. Io's untouchable. Mommy comes out. Like that hasn't kicked in for anybody yet. They're not smart to realize that.
yeah,
So, I mean, it's fun. The angle's fun. I just don't know what it's doing per se. Maybe send something up for after, but it's almost
yeah,
like that Naomi's predetermining that Io's going to win the triple threat match.
maybe.
So, beats me, but it's a fun trio. Maybe they're starting to drop hints to what the Survivor Series teams are going to look like. I don't know.
Well, yeah, at that rate, I mean, it's with Stephanie Vakir getting added into it. Um, so it's almost becoming not just like a trio anymore. Well, unless that's who you're referring to
Yeah,
as
it's
a
a trio.
trio.
Those three.
Okay,
It's Stephanie.
those three,
It's
and then Naomi on the other side with
right,
nobody.
right. So that's kind of
Gotcha.
that. A good chunk of the team is there, and then no one on the other side just yet. But
Yeah, I mean that would make sense. Start building up that at least that side, and that's at least your start. Uh,
especially
if Bianca's back by then, you had her as a fourth.
you could. Odds are though, at
Because
Survivor Series, the champion won't be in the match. So if Naomi continues to not, Naomi continues to win, Naomi won't be there anyway. So the be a completely different bad guy group. Maybe something happens along the way
maybe
with Jade and Bianca that puts Jade on the other side. We'll see. We got
puts
a ton of time before then.
like Bianca goes bad or Jade goes bad.
Either or.
No.
As of right now, it'd be Jade. Bianca's still very much a good guy, but we'll
Yeah,
see when
but
she comes back if she stays that way.
how would she be a bad guy? She sides with Naomi and they team up together. That would be fucking bizarre.
I just whichever one stays good, the other one does underhanded tactics. That's all. That's all it takes.
Okay.
It's pretty simple. The one kicks a puppy, that would do it.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what you have for a heel group, especially on Raw right now. Judgment Day?
Yeah, but even with them being heels, they're almost so far over that they're like faces at this point.
Right. Um, Ivy Niles a bad guy.
Yeah.
So Ivy Niles and Naomi, and that's it.
Yeah. Get
It'd be
Nia
interesting. We have a
Jax,
ways
I
to go.
guess.
We have plenty of time. Yeah, we have plenty of ways to go though before Survivor Series. So it is what it
Yeah.
is. I'm sure they'll figure it out. Um,
Well, it looks like they got mostly one side already figured out. So
at very least, Stephanie and Mommy are gonna be teaming together. It seems in the future at some point because they both kind of
yeah,
have that same vibe to them.
yeah, they got that same look.
Don't be surprised if Liv doesn't show back up. If well, how long is she out for? They haven't actually set an exact date for her, I don't think. But
True.
if it's on the short end of it, the 3 month or 4 month end, she might be able to get back before then. And she could team up with Rhea and them to go back after the Judgment Day. That pop would be
Yeah,
insane.
yeah. If all of a sudden she's back to siding with Rhea.
Yeah, to go, beat up uh, mostly Roxanne, but be mad at Raquel as well. But they'd pair off in a way that Raquel is facing Ripley and Liv is facing Roxanne, obviously.
Yeah,
But I just think that would be quite
that's a good idea. That's
the repairing.
probably what they could do.
As long as
Cause
she's back, I don't know what the timetable is. The official reports were like anywhere from 3 to 6 months. Well, six is like Royal Rumble time, but 3 or
yeah,
4,
3 or 4.
that's
Yeah, they can really just kind of cherry pick what, where that PLE is gonna be.
mm-hmm.
Like, hold it off till later in the year and
Well, they
use
know
it
where
there.
it's Petco Park.
Oh,
It's
so,
the San Diego Padres baseball field. It'd be really
uh,
cool to go to if I had more free time, I would definitely be something I'd go to. 'Cause I'd love to check out Petco Park, and that seems like a great event for it. But
Yeah, and San Diego is a great area. It's like one of those places in the country that's like perfect weather like all year round.
right,
Like
and I would
always.
that'd be definitely a place though that like I know there's plenty to do in San Diego, but I would probably just go for that. So I would stay somewhere close enough that I don't have to worry about the traffic because that seems like the number one thing everybody in California hates is the traffic.
Yeah.
So, but
I didn't love it in Seattle. Some people would be like, I think it's worse here now than there. I'm like,
I think
well,
every
I
major city is going to say that. Like, I'm sure Austin is saying that about cities as
so
well.
the reason some people you could possibly maybe believe on it, like I don't know, never being to California, uh, but a lot of people that go and end up uprooting their life to go live and work in Seattle come up from California. That's why it gets known as being so dreary and dismal and
Mm,
it just rains all the time. Because you get sunny Californians going up there
ah,
and they ain't used to it and they hate it. Me, I went out there and I loved it. I'm like, this is great. I love this weather.
you crazy Californians! You don't know nothing about anything, man. I'm a crazy Ohioan.
It was not fucking rain. I'll tell you that much. It was just drizzle for 10 months and just
Right.
oh, okay. So I put on a hooded sweatshirt and I go about my business. Oh, boo hoo hoo. Oh, it was great. Almost never too hot, almost never too cold. Just right. Spring and fall weather. 10
Nice.
months. It was great.
Uh,
Anyways.
yeah.
Uh, so, the end of the night, just the wise man not getting to say any of the things he wanted to say. That was a pretty obvious cutoff. As soon
Yep.
as he said that, before he goes out, I have a whole bunch of shit I want to say. Like, okay, well, here comes the music, and then dun dun dun.
Yep.
um, so just building more of that tension of Roman versus little baby Steiner.
For
Uh,
now, I
yeah,
think what they're going to end up maybe doing at this point, depending on the length of Seth's injury, would be to have the essentially the feuds over from now through WrestleMania be Roman going through each one of the henchmen, like a Mortal Kombat tower almost to get to Seth at WrestleMania.
makes sense.
So
It's
work
kind of a
through.
short list, though.
Yeah, you know what? It's interesting to see what they do because they have to pivot because of injuries, but they teased the other bloodline, uh, 2 weeks ago or whatever it was on SmackDown by jumping solo after the match. So
Yeah.
we'll have to see what they choose to do there because I think they've kind of bit off more than they can chew with that storyline where Seth and his group is supposed to go, like what they're supposed to do, because it really seemed like it was more aimed at the other bloodline first. So we'll just have to wait and see on that, I guess. But
Yeah.
I don't know if they have a grander scheme plan or if it's just this was the pivot after Seth's injury. But
I would figure this is just the pivot. I think Seth getting hurt. I think that's why Seth was so mad when he was getting carted out of the ring and just going like, just cursing obscenities. Fuck, God, fucking damn it.
well, I'm sure they had
Because
a pretty good storyline set up from the be part of, and it's going to probably
yeah,
culminate with him winning a belt because he's the Money in the Bank champion or
and
carrier.
it kind of seems in a sense where it's almost like them doing damn it, what was the Triple H and Ric Flair thing? Evolution.
Mm,
It's almost seeming like they're doing their own evolution, and Heyman's the Ric Flair role essentially, except he's not a wrestler. He's just the older guy with a lot of wisdom, and then you got the uh, not quite old dog champion, but Seth is playing the Triple H role, and kind of, well, he's got two hopefully future stars. It seems like they're going to be if they're not already. Is because it's not really the same like it was with Evolution, where it was just like the two kind of showed up and like we don't know these two. They look good, so see what happens here. Um, but yeah, now I think that's partly why he's so mad because this injury just happens and it's like there there was probably some pretty big plans around this whole thing and now it's just kind of, he probably just knows how badly it's just screwed up now that it's just like he can't be part of it. They got to try and pivot. They got to try and keep this angle in some way alive until Seth gets back or they can figure out another way to go with it. Because otherwise, it can be kind of dead in the water. And it can kind of just be one of those angles that just like dies overnight, where it just goes away. Hopefully not. Hopefully they can figure it out. But it's probably the main reason I'd see him kind of disappointed is just like we had something we were doing here. We were just getting it started, and a fucking nagging injury comes up and fucks it up.
Could be that. I could see that.
I like that's just how I read it with how frustrated he was with
Yeah,
that.
makes sense. I read it as he's the Money in the Bank holder, and he does seem to have these situations where as soon as he gets the title, or as soon as he's about to get the title, he gets injured.
Oh,
And that he probably had a pretty good idea what they were going to build for, and it could set him back.
yeah,
And it gets frustrating when you're an athlete that trains really hard and you have these just reoccurring injuries based on things you have no control over, genetically speaking. And that
yeah.
sucks.
Your body doesn't want to cooperate with you through
Hmm.
injury or whatever.
So we'll see. I'm curious. I don't know what this does. I'm glad to see that it kind of brought Uso and Roman back together. But again,
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of any of it because they've already pissed off the other bloodline. Now they're kind of starting this bloodline to come back together again. I don't know what to make of any of it. I think it's too early to tell. But eh.
Um, I mean, what you could really do is kind of build the Usos and Fatu around Roman in a way where they all respect each other rather than Roman just lording over them all.
Yeah, but what does
And
that do? What does that do for?
you you then feud with Solo's group and then have Seth's kind of interfering in both sides and being a thorn.
Well, Seth needs to get healthy. One and two,
I
he's going to
know, but
interfere in CM Punk's match against Gunther in some way, shape, or form because his whole life work is to keep that man from winning a belt. And
yes, but in the meantime, these are the things you can do to kind of like keep that group kind of like still on
that
everyone's
group
radar
means
and you
nothing then. He's a gnat on two groups that have already fought once.
well, then what do you do with them? Just have those two start winning titles?
That's tough with those two. It's really tough to figure out what to do next if he's off for any type of considerable amount of time. If he's really off for 3 to 6 months, it is tough to figure out what to do with that. Um,
My thought on it is just to try and like keep them kind of like in our thoughts the whole time, not let it just like all of a sudden they just disappear one day like, oh, we got nothing for you this week.
right.
Sorry guys. uh, Kind of like almost like how we didn't see Kaiser until he came back as Americano.
Yeah, but
And
they
it just
demolished his group.
true, but after they demolished his group, there was several months where he was just a singles guy, and that's how I got to know him. Because essentially, as soon as I started watching again, his group was had demolished just before I started watching, so I didn't know him as his group. I knew him as him.
Right. And then he just stopped.
Yeah, he just disappeared, and supposedly it was from an injury that they didn't put on the injury report. So
It could
now
have
we're
been.
seeing him again,
Kind of.
but we're only seeing him dressed up, so he could potentially still be injured. So essentially, what I'm trying to say is with Seth's group is like instead of just having them go poof and then all of a sudden show up one day again, like they did with the Wyatt Sick. They
Yeah.
did that where it was just like, oh, okay, there's all these releases coming up. These people got released. They're not doing anything with the Wyatt Sick. The rumor for more people to be released. That's where, what in my mind, I started thinking, are they going to release that whole group and just be like, uh, I guess we're not doing anything. Bye. So
Yeah. No, they're not going to release these guys. They're not going to make them disappear off TV. Um, you have to figure out if there's a way they can write into a storyline someone significant to be added. That would be the question mark. And it seems as though Cena is going to do a positive character change in the near future from the way he's acting. So it'd be hard to believe it would be Cena, but adding Cena to the group and going back with the whole Seth was one of the members that was, you know, all along involved or was going to be involved would be a suitable replacement for Seth until he gets back. And then when Seth gets back, then you have a super group that is able to hang with either new bloodline or whatever formation of old bloodline happens.
okay.
So, and then it could also be the catalyst for Cena's turn back to good guy again. So, there are things they can do.
So who brings Cena into the group? Heyman? How you'll work that?
Rock,
The Rock?
yeah. Even if he's not
What?
there, the Rock is the reason why.
Like how? That's what I can't.
How?
Yeah. How?
You had the speculation that there was still another member or two to be added anyways because of the Rock's hand gestures. Cena um, turning was again not that big of a surprise, but Seth had seemed to have tendencies that I already thought he was going to join the Rock anyways to begin with. And you add the people he's with now, you put Cena there with the idea that Seth has the same vision. He has never really cared what the crowd thinks. He's always had his own vision, his own unique thing. He's always worked night in and night out to defend the title and make a title. The belt that Gunther's holding is only existing because Seth never stopped working. He would be the peer to Cena and what Cena appreciates. So the real champions essentially of wrestling and the Rock's main people to help carry TKO's WWE. And then something splinters within that group that irritates Cena, and Cena goes back to Super Cena good guy and rides off into the sunset.
I guess we'll have to wait and see. I
Mm-hmm.
suppose that's very possible.
Yeah, I mean, they could do a lot. It just depends, again, with how long he's out for. But I think it's really weird that they have this two-man stable just pissing off everybody. But maybe that's why they pivoted. Maybe it's going to be Jay and Roman 2-on-2. Maybe that's why
Maybe.
they did that.
At least for now, to
Yeah,
kind of reunite those two as champions.
I mean that's the real simple way to handle it, I suppose.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that pretty much sums up where we are on Raw.
Yeah.
Undertaker's going to be on NXT tomorrow for anybody who wants to know or
Oh boy.
watch that. And that's about it. I don't know what else we want to talk about. We got about 6 minutes if you want to stay in that hour range.
Well, I mean, we can either call it or talk about the show we went to on Friday, or
I mean, I've been to a million of them. I guess I'll say I enjoyed going. I always love seeing Priscilla Kelly, formerly Gigi. She's super nice, super sweet. Um, Black, formerly Cora Jade. canceled. The promoters mentioned that it was a family emergency. Now, with the news that came out, it seems as though that her heart's just not in it and she's taking a break, and that's probably why she canceled. Um,
Yeah.
which is sad because she was just there a month earlier, and I wouldn't have mind meeting her. I've never met her before. Um, it did make that match awkward. Gigi or Priscilla Kelly was in a triple threat match that was supposed to be a fatal four way, and it kind of left her with nothing to do. She worked well with it. She teamed up with somebody, and they beat up on the more traditional bad guy. But it was again, she's always been fantastic. She's super nice and great with fans, and always entertaining. The rest of the show is pretty good. Um, my tag team retained their belts. Love to see that. I don't know about the main event. The main event was a guy named Chuck Stone versus, that's who Chuck Stone is. Chuck Stone versus Eric Taylor, and good storytelling there. Good match overall. A little annoying with the barricade bouncing.
Yeah, his dad kind of got drunk and kept
I
slamming the
assume, I don't know that for
barricade.
sure. I assume those were the actions of someone who may have been excited and had one too many.
He
Because,
kept kind of using it to keep himself standing. He's
yep,
kind
I'm
of,
just not making any assumptions. That's just actions you may add to someone doing something like that. Anyways, um, they look like they're the headliners for the November pay per view or November show, I should say. Looks like they're running it back at Hell on Earth, their November show, their Black Friday show. So,
okay.
um, Eric Taylor has a lot of showmanship to him. Chuck has a lot of energy.
Yeah.
I just don't know if Chuck would translate to every audience. He definitely translates to that audience.
Yeah, because that audience, a good amount of them are trying to be ECW esque.
Well, I mean that's the same era we grew up in. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if too many of those matches feel like ECW esque stuff because the wrestlers, for the most part, the younger ones, especially ones that come through their school, don't know what ECW really is. They didn't watch it. They only know from the promoter booking Little Guido and Sandman and stuff like that, Rhino, but they don't. That wasn't the thing. Their thing is TNA. Their version of what ECW was to and for example, their promoter is TNA.
I get that. I mean, by the fan base, like they're
I don't know if the fan base is too young. They think they know what ECW is, but I don't know if they truly understand what the ECW
I
vibe was like.
I mean, I was looking at a lot of 40 and 50-year-olds at that event that we were just at Friday.
I could see the 40s. I don't know about the 50s. I think the 50s might be
I
the parents.
well, I mean, I was even seeing people holding beers that were had mostly gray hair in their head. So,
Right. I mean, Barkley Nation filled up the entire back of that scenario, and they're all in their 20s.
I mean, there's plenty that are too young for the ECW thing unless they had some way of going back to watch, but there was a lot. There's plenty of older fans that go to AIW shows I've noticed. So when it starts getting the really extreme, kind of more hardcore stuff, I start feeling that vibe of what of like ECW and like if some idiot's gonna act out in the stands. Luckily, no one really does, other than slamming a guardrail over and over and over again. But that
Yeah.
was just because of someone's dead.
Yeah. I mean, it's been before. There was people excited when Nick Gage got announced like 6 years ago or 7 years ago for a return and bounced some
Yeah,
guardrails on the floor. It happens, but
yeah,
it's not ideal, and usually you don't keep it going for a half hour straight.
yeah,
So,
yeah. That that type of atmosphere that we got right at the end. That was the only thing that ever worried me about. Basically, bringing the wife to her first wrestling show. That's why I was always like, I like to take her to Mega first.
I think you get more fan interaction in AIW. So you have the moments where like It's always Justice. It's always Matthew Justice. We'll find your table or go over the barricade and make you move and do stuff, but usually doesn't actually do anything overly annoying.
Yeah.
Whereas, which I think is a nice thing. It shows that the fan base can be part of the action, so to speak, by being on camera, getting the hell out of the way as you're supposed to do. But that they can come and be in your area and make it more personable. That doesn't happen too often at Mega, for example. But overall, the crowd typically doesn't do what they did that night with that guardrail and stuff like that, and just being obnoxiously loud for way too long.
I guess.
So,
Uh, like, not for that long. I've heard quite other things where I'm just like, is there gonna be some shit popping off here in the crowd at AEW or AIW shows? Particularly the Akron venue. There's a few things I won't repeat on stream
oh,
just because
I don't know. I've never noticed that before,
yeah,
honestly.
there's a few times I saw it. One of which we uh you know I'll just say your cop friend that sometimes gets to go to the shows. Like, hmm, okay. Hopefully they don't have to be involved in anything. Hopefully nothing happens here. But I was feeling kind of the atmosphere in other shows like that get like a little bit like,
It's
okay,
crazy. The Akron shows
these
are usually
guys
more,
gonna
subdued ones because that's more of a like a wedding hall for a location than it is anything else.
yeah. I'll I'll tell you off stream
Okay.
because I don't.
Because they actually they were really cracking down on them at first because they could get in trouble for all kinds of stuff and they didn't want to lose that venue. They were all about, like,
Yeah,
even when Justice came out waving the flag, the American flag at the end, they were upset about that because they were like, we were told not to touch anything like that. So even like waving the flag was an issue. Like, they were, it may not have looked like it, but they were on high alert early on there. Now I'm not so sure that that's a concern because the place might be sold and blah blah blah. But man, the first couple shows there, it was like people were on the lookout. Man, Pedro was on the lookout, and I'm sure Dom was on the lookout. And Dom's not someone you want to mess with. Dom's somebody that would definitely
yeah,
neutralize a problem pretty quickly. We'll say that.
yeah. Well,
But yep, I didn't hear any of that.
I'll
So
elaborate more off stream. Definitely
okay,
want to say it on here. Um, but yeah, I mean, other than that last thing that kind of sort of ruined the experience for the wife for her first wrestling show, we'll take her to Mega and she'll get a totally different vibe and probably like that one more. Um,
yeah, I don't know if
it was
the stories are as well thought out there, but they're usually more
true.
comical at least.
It's more of a beginner wrestling school, but
Eh,
if I kind of
we'll see.
start, yeah, okay. But if I kind of give her that idea that like it's kind of more like that, like
Right. I'm
it
just saying
just
they did just have a new champion,
oh yeah, which
and
pretty much came from AIW.
yeah,
So
and
yeah,
they do have a seminar coming up next weekend with people that I wouldn't. I mean, again, I wouldn't necessarily consider them like the rookie school, so to speak. The seminar is bringing in Ruby and Angelo Parker,
true, but
so to so we'll see.
I
I know
I've
what you
kind of
mean. I know what you
yeah,
mean, but we'll see.
I think mainly because both those two are considered schools and AIW has been poaching from Mega. So Mega starts to build someone, they start to get established, AIW takes them.
Typically, now I'll say this too, though.
Not always.
I don't think that was a great move by some of the women that's jumped. I get AIW had a huge momentum move, but they don't really tend to focus on booking the women. In some
Yeah.
ways, it's helped because with only being one woman essentially in AIW, she's gotten to wrestle Thunder Rosa and some other top talent names. But at least Mega brings in women consistently, whether they're from Chikara or whether they're from other organizations. Mega Myers has been there several times. Zoe Sky is there constantly, or at least was. I can rattle off way more women that go to Mega consistently versus Katie Arquette and Jocelyn with are the only two AIW women.
That and that's David Arquette's daughter, right?
Niece or something, I think.
Niece. That's what it is. Okay, I knew it was like somewhat close relative. I'm a little surprised that she's here of all places, but Bowen has decided that it's time to play fight the hand and bite it and claw it and fight the hand. It's
I
the
don't know if he's
enemy.
still wrestling anymore, by the way. David was wrestling consistently, then had an accident where he had a rough time there for a minute.
Well,
Uh,
yeah, I'd imagine that was kind of the end of it there. But I kind of figured that's where she kind of got into wrestling. Was
yep.
probably
And it is the niece. I was right, niece.
okay. So
Um, don't get me wrong. Katie's great. Jocelyn's great. But they need literally for the guests to be women for them to have any variety in matches. They need uh, Cora or Priscilla or Thunder Rosa or Britt to come back for them to have something to mix it up. Otherwise, it's the same. Oh, there
it's the
was
same
one.
two, right?
What's up?
And the same two women. I think that's the same person I saw Jocelyn wrestle last year at last year's Absolution.
I
I
think
think
Thunder's only been there once.
not Thunder. Uh, we were just talking about the niece.
Katie.
Yeah,
Um,
I think she was there last year. I think she was wrestling Jocelyn.
Might have been last year. 2 years ago. I thought you went to 2 years ago. Did
That
you
was
watch the
last year.
hardcore match? The blood everywhere? Because that was
Um,
Jocelyn and Ziggy.
no, I didn't see that one. Was that last year?
I didn't go to last year's. It'd be 2 years ago, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, geez, I haven't been to one of their shows in like 2 years because I think that's the last time I was there was for an Absolution.
Yeah, that would have been in the Akron location.
Yeah,
And
I
I don't think I went
there
last year. I
for
could be wrong. I don't think I did. Commander was there. That's the guy who ran across the ropes and flips off the ropes and stuff.
yeah.
But yeah, anyways, it's not bad. There's nothing wrong with anything going on either side. It's definitely to each your own on what kind of style you want and what kind of atmosphere you want. Absolution was fantastic outside of, your wife getting a headache from the guardrail.
Yeah.
And Black canceling. But I mean, what are you going to do? Cora Jade's not into it. Her head's not there. Hopefully she takes a break and she figures out what she wants to do in life and she's happy again because that's the important part. Um, but
Dog. What? Yeah.
so,
He
but
might need
that's
to be
about it. We've
outside.
been going now for almost an hour and 10 minutes. But again, no, PK was amazing. Show was good.
It was a really good show. Just
The
I,
venue's fun, except they don't serve non-alcoholic drinks besides water.
I think the wife found some soda pop, but I don't know where. They told me there wasn't any. It was like alcohol and water, but I guess not.
Did she
And
find
then
her way to the private bar?
uh, I don't know. She like pointed like she went to the same place I went to that they told me nothing. Like
Hmm,
so,
weird.
and for food, well, it was snacks. There was no food existing at all. It was sad little. Uh,
And that is what I dislike about that side of the flats. Now the Flatiron is over there, which I've not tried their food yet. That could be okay. But man, the other side of the flats was had so many food options,
well,
man.
well, even with the Akron uh, venue we end up going to, they have a kitchen there. They're at least like selling like hot dogs and a few other things. Like,
Yep.
dude, man, I'll take a hot dog. I'm hungry. Fine. Okay,
They
fine, cool,
they're
hot
also
dog.
known for their sundaes. They have Sunday brownie sundaes.
Cool. I mean,
Um,
it's a hell of a lot better than like a tiny little potato chip bag that's like meant
Also, if
for
you
like
get there
school
even
lunches.
remotely early enough, just out down the road, like still within the same parking lot, but just down the road, because that venue is goofy. You enter the parking lot, then you go down to a random back road, hang a
Yeah.
right, and you're going to take another back road into the parking lot. Just staying on those two roads and going back up into the parking lot, you have like 3 fast food places, a Chipotle,
Yeah.
all within 5 minutes of the venue, not even.
Yeah,
Um,
you go through like a little shopping center off the main road,
right.
and then you go up that little backwoods road through like a little residential section to get
Yep.
to the venue.
Yep. I mean, it's a good
Uh,
little venue, honestly. I don't go
yeah.
enough to that venue. It's a good venue. It's right off the highway. It's not that far, and
You got a Waffle House that's right there too.
yeah, Waffle Houses.
Yeah, that's a good Waffle House. Been there a couple times.
But um, we'll see. I think they have another show coming up there soon. I don't know when for sure though.
Yeah.
I know their next show is, I believe, the outdoor show, Wrestle Rager. That's your ECW show. That's literally meant to be like ECW.
Gotcha.
That's the one they usually also book a Rhino or a Sandman or a Sabu for. So yeah, Black Friday is lined up. It's got all the same top 6 people in it booked for that one. It seems like. Do they have anything shown here? That's already over. That's done. Nope, I don't see. Wrestle Rager would be next. I don't know what they have in September or October, actually, come to think of it. One of those two is probably in back in Akron, September or October. Oh, here's their schedule. Hold on. I'm dumb. It was right at the top. August 16th is their North Canton Festival, Main Street Festival. August 23rd is the Wrestle Rager show. They have another show at the Roxy in Lakewood on September 20th. October is Penguin City out in Youngstown. Black Friday show is the Globe Iron again, and then they're not in Akron until December.
Oh wow.
December 27th is when they're back.
Okay.
They're not at the Globe Iron or Akron, their two main places, until November and December. So wild. I didn't realize that. But all right, we should call it. It's been a minute 12.
Yeah. I'm trying
So
to cut it off before this, but yeah.
yeah, it happens when
20
you go to
minutes
a
on
show
local.
and when you have two things to talk about at least, it seems to go over an hour no matter what. So,
Yeah,
but
it seems to.
all right, we're gonna end it there. We will talk to you again after next Raw.
Yep. Bye, Internet.
Bye.